As a late winter storm sets its sights on Houston, the cold chill inside NRG Stadium has caused destruction on the dirt and has Gravedigger on the brink of nirvana. The brothers Anderson came to ride in round 5.
Come on, get it! Nice job!
Holding off a world champion throwdown in freestyle and the racing rage of an extreme independent. Ryan Anderson was dialed in, flying high on his dragon.
Here he goes! He's at it again!
For his second straight win and looks to make it a Houston hat trick in what's sure to be the most action-packed night of the season. This is round 6. This is Houston. This is Monster Jam.
Oh, it's saved! Yes!
Nice air. And he saves it. There is your wow factor.
Big air out of the box! Awesome move! Look at that!
Welcome to NRG Stadium. This is truly the calm before the storm for round 6 of Monster Jam's 2021 season. Hello everyone, I'm Scott Jordan alongside driver Colt Stevens, and tonight we are back for our 3rd weekend in Houston. And after Tom Mentz won the first 3 rounds, Ryan Anderson has taken the last 2. So what are you seeing from Ryan Anderson now that was different from the previous rounds?
You know, it takes a while to get one with your truck. It's got to be an extension of your body. We use all extremities when driving these trucks. So when you jump into a new one like Ryan did, getting out of Son of a Digger into Bakugan, he's got a little bit of time there. He's got to get to learn that truck. And I think finally we're starting to see that all come together, and we're going to start seeing bigger things come from Ryan.
And Adam Anderson got off to a fast start, but it began to sputter a little bit before coming back into competition in round 5 and making a statement. Now, on the other end of the Anderson spectrum is Kristen, and she's had some moments of pure brilliance here, but the struggles have been there as well. So how does she get things right?
You're exactly right, Scott. Kristen has really been struggling here in a stadium setting. She has the talent and the skill to do really good. I think she just needs to get that monkey off her back, go out there, have some fun, and don't think about that she's got to be that Digger persona. She's got to have fun, do her thing. She's got the skills to do it. Just go do it.
So we have the 3 Andersons plus 9 other superstars competing here tonight. Let's take a look at the Stadium Championship Series driver lineup. Colt, who's in contention tonight for the event championship?
You know, Ryan's coming off a hot streak with the event championship earlier, so I'm going to have to go with Ryan. Also, you know, Corey Rummel. He was out there going bad fast on this Chicago-style track, so I'm going to have to say Corey Rummel as well.
And speaking of Kristen Anderson, let's check in with our very own Leslie Mears, who's standing by with the Gravedigger driver in this UNOH pit report. Leslie.
So this Houston track has really wreaked havoc on the Gravedigger team. And Kristen, it's been a little unexpected for you here every time out. So how does that kind of play on your emotions when you're out there driving?
I feel like coming into the first couple rounds, I was coming out kind of strong and feeling pretty good and starting to get my feet under me, and then I just was having some really bad luck. My truck is having a hard time keeping up with me. Gravedigger 34 is just falling apart left and right. Part of it's my fault. And also, they changed the track up on me too after about, 4 rounds of finally getting used to that other style of racing. And I still don't have as much stadium experience, so it's been kind of hard making the transition a little bit. I'm so used to being on Triple Threat where I did 96 shows in a matter of a year on the same track all the time. So the constant changing track conditions from stadium to stadium has been challenging, but I'm working it out. I know that I'm looking forward to getting to the Florida shows, though.
Let's review the Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 event format for Houston round 6. Our drivers will compete in 3 competitions tonight: Monster Energy Racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and BKT Monster Jam Freestyle. 12 points will be awarded to the winner of each competition, with a total of 36 points on the line, and the driver with the most points at the end of the night is crowned the overall event champion. It's time now for Track Talk presented by Great Clips. Colt, we kicked off Chicago-style racing in round 5. What can we expect in round 6?
This Chicago-style track is one of our faster tracks. What I like most about it is the drivers are on a level playing field, both turning to the left and both hitting the same ramps. This track looks bigger, but it's actually the same amount of obstacles as the previous track. I see a lot of big air and wow moments coming out during freestyle.
Now let's take a look at the racing bracket for Monster Energy Racing. The bracket is stacked from top to bottom. And the round one matchups are set. Zombie versus Max D, Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior versus Gravedigger, Black Pearl going up against Scooby-Doo, and Avenger up against Overboard. The first round buys go to Rage, Bakugan Dragonoid, Monster Energy, and Megalodon due to their semifinal performance in round 5 of racing. Now taking a look at that bracket, Colt, which one of those matchups is the Colt Stevens premier matchup?
Scott, I'm really liking this first round matchup. We've got Bari versus Tom. Bari has the opportunity to knock Tom off early if he can match everything he needs to do out there on the track.
And Zombie hits the line first off the ramp. Going around the drift turn, Tom Mentz on the race ramp first. Bari Musauer now playing catch up, but Tom is going to go up on 2 wheels, and that's going to open the lane and the door for Bari Musauer to win round 1. Our second matchup of the night. In the left lane, it's Bryce Kenny, Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior. The right lane belonging to Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger. This is their first matchup of the 2021 season. And Kristen gets up on 2 wheels. Something about this turn over here. Bryce Kenny hits the ramp and the chalk. Here comes Bryce Kenny now, gonna final turn. If he can keep it up, he's got this. And Bryce Kenny will win it. Cole, what's going on over here in this turn right below us?
This turn over here next to the backflip ramp is very tacky compared to the tunnel side. These drivers are gonna have to tiptoe around this corner.
Up next is Colvinard and the Black Pearl, Lindsey Reed, Scooby-Doo, their first matchup of the season. Colvinard has 2 racing wins to his name. He went back-to-back earlier in round 3 and round 4. We are off and running. Lindsey Reed has to hit the brakes slightly. Colvinard with a great tight turn. He's across the halfway point first. Here comes Scooby-Doo. As Colvinard again tight around that turning tire. And he will hit the finish line first. Lindsey Reed gave it everything she got, but Colvinard just a little bit faster tonight. Our final round 1 matchup, 2 veterans, Jim Kohler and Avenger, Jamie Garner and Overboard. They have met twice so far this season, and Jamie Garner 2-0 against a 2-time World Finals champion. So Jim Kohler does get the whole shot, but he gets caught up in the chamber. And now Jim Kohler can't get it straight, so here comes Jamie Garner. And he goes wide, almost to the Monster Energy backflip ramp. This gives Kohler the edge right here.
Whoa, what a race.
Exciting finish. Jim Kohler takes the whole shot, gets a little sideways, ends up making Garner pay for the mistake. Here's how we stand after the first round of Monster Energy Racing. It'll be Rage against Zombie, Bakugan Dragonoid against Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior. Monster Energy will do battle with the Black Pearl, and Megalodon up against Avenger. Round 1 is done, and now we move on to round 2, so the Anderson brothers will now enter the bracket of Monster Energy Racing. Welcome back to round 6 of the 2021 Monster Jam season. We're about to kick off the second round of Monster Energy Racing. And as we take a look at our first round 1 matchup, Corey Rummel in Rage in that left lane where he dominated in round 5 and took the racing win. He's up against Bari Musauer. First turn out great for both competitors. This is going to be a tight one. Bari goes wide across that finish line early on the halfway point. Here they come, final turn. Corey Rummel on rails, and we got 2 saves coming up here. They both got it.
Wow, what a race.
That was a close finish. I think Corey Rummel took the tight final turn. Bari went wide, and it cost him.
Both guys giving it their all. Bari slid halfway across the track on his sidewalls. Great save by him. And Corey, he just absolutely sent that truck across the finish line.
Our next matchup, Bryce Kenny, Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior against 2-time World Finals champion Ryan Anderson and Bakugan Dragonoid. Their second meeting of the season. Bryce Kenny 1-0 against Ryan Anderson. Off the race ramp, down the straightaway, and around the first turn. Bryce Kenny a slight advantage over Ryan Anderson. It could be that left lane. Ryan came off a little wobbly on the far race ramp, and here we go. Another dynamite finish, but I think it's Bryce Kenny with the win.
Wow, what a break for Bryce Kenny. I've been waiting for him to get one of these. Taking out Ryan Anderson is a big deal. Great job, Bryce Kenny.
Our next matchup is two-time World Finals champion Todd LeDuc in the right, Cole Bernard, the Black Pearl, in the left. So far, that left lane is 2-0 in Monster Energy Racing in this round. It's incredible watching the dominance of that lane so far. First turn, Todd LeDuc goes wide on the back end. He's going to hit that mound. Cole Bernard trying to catch up here as we go back around the second half of this track. And Todd LeDuc's got it, so there's your right lane winner, Todd LeDuc advancing.
So he has got something figured out in that right lane that did make him quite a bit faster than Cole.
Our final second round matchup, five-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson up against Jim Kohler in Avenger. So Adam, he's gonna pick the right lane as well. Nobody faster off the line this season than Adam Anderson. At the halfway point, Adam and Megalodon getting up on two wheels. Kohler with a wide drift. Here we go.
Wow, that was close.
Adam Anderson, Megalodon will advance to the semifinals. So we're down now to our four finalists. The semifinal bracket is set. Corey Rummel will go up against Bryce Kenny, Todd LeDuc, Adam Anderson. These are four heavyweights in Monster Energy Racing. Here we go, our first semifinal matchup. Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Corey Rummel in Rage. Bryce Kenny gets the jump. Here we go around the turn. Final turn. Bryce with a wide turn. Corey goes narrow, and here comes Rage. And Corey went sideways. That may have cost him. We're going to take a look at the replay here. Here we come off the race ramp. So Bryce Kenny just edging him out.
Just wasn't enough from Corey. Man, that was so close.
Our last semifinal matchup, two-time World Finals champion Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy, five-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson and Megalodon. Adam 3-0 against Todd LeDuc in the 2021 season. Again, Adam Anderson first off the line. Todd going sideways. He's got that turn figured out. Adam still with the slight advantage here. Final turn, Adam on the drift. And Todd goes off the race ramp. Adam Anderson will advance to the finals against another rival, Bryce Kenny.
Man, Todd almost had him. If he would have got both tires up there, he could have possibly had the win. But Adam Anderson showing his veteran style out there, getting the win and finishing Todd LeDuc.
Our final two are set. Bryce Kenny, Adam Anderson. Cole, you and I talked before we went on air. This is not how we thought this racing bracket would end up.
Absolutely not. There's a lot of great racing out there, and they're shaking things up, that's for sure.
We started with 12, and now 2 remains. We're about to crown our first winner. It's time for the Monster Energy Racing Finals. Welcome back to the home of the largest rodeo in the world, NRG Stadium, right here deep in the heart of Houston, Texas. The Monster Energy Racing Finals are here. Adam Anderson, Bryce Kenny, 2 North Carolina guys, great friends off the track, bitter rivals on the racetrack.
Yeah, they're going for bragging rights right now. Whoever wins this race is not going to let the other one live it down the rest of the night. I can guarantee that.
We go green, and that time Bryce Kenny gets the jump off the line.
He's showing his dragster background.
He has got a path. He is on this level right now, another level that we haven't seen Bryce Kenny on. Final turn, but here comes Adam Anderson. It's going to be close, and Bryce Kenny takes the win.
Wow, about time, buddy, about time. He has been working for that every round so far, and to finally get one here in Houston, I know he's grinning from ear to ear.
Let's head down to the track. Leslie Mears standing by with our racing winner.
It's a breakout moment tonight with this big win, Bryce. You've been so consistent and so close. So how does it feel to finally break out and get the win?
I feel like it's kind of getting a monkey off my back or something. You know, I mean, we've been there every step of the way all season long, but we just haven't been able to bring home that W. I wanted to do it for all these Houston fans. I want to do it for our crew guys, for my family back home. It just feels so great to finally get the result.
Thank you, Leslie. Let's take a look at the BKT overall event leaderboard. 12 points for Bryce Kenny, 11 for Adam Anderson, 10 for Todd LeDuc, 9 for Corey Rummel, 8 for Ryan Anderson through one competition, rounding out our BKT overall event top 5. You mentioned earlier all the racing winners, 4 racing winners in 6 rounds. Should be noted, none of them have gone on to win the overall event championship. With racing in the books, it was time for our second event of the night. Let's take a look back at the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Each driver had the option to attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or a donut. Competitors attempted a variety of moves and combinations and were judged based on creativity, skill, and execution. 12 points were on the line towards tonight's overall event championship. Let's take a quick look back at our top competitors. Third place would belong to the Professor Tom Mentz in Max D Fire, and you can't touch that maximum moonwalk.
He's got his hand out the window, holding that number 1 up. Wow.
And in second place, it was Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, with the moonwalk and then a stopping nose wheelie moonwalk combo.
Nice and smooth. Get the RPMs up. Ride the brake. Nice work.
But finally, it was Ryan Anderson with this incredible J-hook bicycle.
Just cruising. He might make it around the whole dang stadium.
He would take the win, his 4th in 6 events. Ryan Anderson, Bakugan Dragonoid, took the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Let's join Leslie, who caught up with our winner.
Yeah, this has really become your bread and butter here, Ryan. I really thought you were going to be able to circle the entire floor. Was that your goal?
Shh. We don't want to tell my secrets, but yes, that is my goal. I've went 891 feet on 2 wheels doing a bicycle with a Monster Jam truck. I have the Guinness Book World Record. So now my goal is to do laps around this place on 2 wheels.
After 2 competitions, here's how the overall point standings are taking shape. Bryce Kenny, 23 points. Ryan Anderson and Adam Anderson both with 20. Todd LeDuc with 18. Then Corey Rummel and Tom Mentz with 14. So there's your BKT leaderboard after Monster Energy Racing and the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Halfway through here in Houston, and we're going to get you caught up and ready for our final event, BKT Freestyle, with our official halftime report, and it's next. Everyone in Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in hope and receive a custom St. Jude and Monster Jam We Won't Stop t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. Welcome back to round 6 of Monster Jam in Houston. I'm Scott Jordan alongside elite Monster Jam driver Colt Stevens. And finally, Colt, it's the breakout of Bryce Kenny we've been waiting for. We've been talking about it. First in racing, second in skills, and with freestyle still to come, will this be the night Bryce Kenny finally climbs up the leaderboard and wins an event championship?
Man, he is so close to putting a whole package together. We've been talking about this since we started this season. Bryce has been nipping at the heels at every event champion out there, but this time he could put it together. Unfortunately, though, Bryce is going out early. That makes it a 50-50 shot. One side is he can be the first one to do any new move, so he could score high. The other thing is he could score low just because of fan judging, doesn't really know what else is coming. So it's very interested to see how this plays out.
Now, Todd LeDuc is the only competitor so far this season to win multiple freestyle competitions. He is still in the conversation for tonight's event championship. So let's say Bryce going out first, falters, doesn't get the judges on his side. If Todd wins his 3rd freestyle, can he climb the ladder and still win this thing?
One thing Todd has showed us here in Houston is he's here for freestyle. He's had consistent freestyles, doing the Monster Energy backflip multiple times and even doing the 8-pack, so he can do either one. So it's going to be very interesting if Todd can go out there and do the same thing he has been doing. He as well could be event champion.
It's time for our halftime UNOH pit report. For that, we head downstairs to Leslie Mears and the man of the hour, Bryce Kenny.
As always, Bryce Kenny has been so consistent tonight. But Bryce, you're right there on the edge with the opportunity to take this overall event championship, but you go out early in freestyle. So what kind of strategy do you have to try to post that big score early on and get the fans' attention?
Well, I think if you're going out first, you've got to set the tone for the rest of the field. And we want to come out here and get some good air and just see what this track has. The biggest disadvantage of going first is you can't see which hits are a little bit steeper, which ones will let you kind of get some bigger air, and you don't have to necessarily guess, because we can come out here and kind of read it a little bit. But unfortunately, I'm definitely at a disadvantage. We got to put all that out of our heads, though. Come out here, give these fans what they came to see, a little bit of controlled chaos.
Thanks, Leslie. Now, Colt, as we've seen this entire time here in Houston, these drivers are not the only superstars out here. The crews behind these 12,000-pound monsters are just as amazing.
Yeah, these guys are the best crew in the world. They have had their hands full in every round here in Houston, and they've got these trucks back in tip-top shape, ready to go for another one.
Now, as some of you know, Colt's family is yet another multi-generational household who have helped pioneer the sport as we know it today. It's why we visited the plains of West Texas to introduce you to the Stevens family as we go inside Monster Jam.
When I see the dome now, I just have so many memories there. When I was growing up, the Houston Astrodome was just an awe-inspiring thing. I came to the show and it was just so big, so giant, so many people. Everybody from Houston seemed to come to the Astrodome for the Monster Jam.
When he was a kid, he would ride his bicycle around the whole building and he'd be gone for hours.
We had so much fun just going around that place, going down that long tunnel, walking out on the floor, staring up at the dome and going, wow, this place is crazy.
When Colt was a kid, every morning he would go down to the shop and see what we'd done the night before and give the monster truck a hug before he went to school. It was part of the family. The King Crunch truck was like his brother. The truck would come home from a weekend all tore up. Emotionally, it hurt him.
Out of Florida, it's Gunslinger. It's Gunslinger in the near lane. Wow.
After I stopped driving King Crunch for 20 years, we'd always had a shop, but we never put a lot of energy in it. It was time to really focus on the shop.
The Stevens legacy is definitely big vehicles. We are known in the Houston area for having big, bad vehicles.
Everybody in that store has the same fire that I do.
Crowd getting excited here in the Astrodome.
Houston is definitely known for Monster Jam, just because it's as big as it gets.
Houston, Texas, Houston Astrodome, Monster Jam. It's just all in the same sentence.
I think Houston was very important in the growth of Monster Jam.
And when monster trucks came along, it was just the perfect place for them. It was a huge facility, held 70,000 people on a Saturday night. Didn't matter what the weather was doing, and the monster trucks could do whatever they wanted.
Definitely was monumental and important in the growth for Monster Jam.
It's such an important part of the history of Monster Jam and where it is today across the street in NRG.
In my mind, Houston is still the big daddy of them all. It's one of the biggest shows that we do all year.
Still to come, the final competition of the night, the big air, the wow moments, the backflips, the main event. It's BKT Freestyle, and it's next. It's been an awesome night so far in Houston. I'm Scott Jordan with Colt Stevens on the call. Now, we've seen a lot of early candidates for save of the year so far. So, Colt, how does a driver pull off an amazing save?
The hard thing about a save and being a driver is just being patient. Sometimes these trucks will get in a position, but you got to let it finish its move before you make a decision. If the truck's on its side and then you do too much too soon, you'll actually end up crashing the other direction.
With tonight's lineup, we are in for some big action, so let's get right to it. It's time for BKT Monster Jam Freestyle. The final competition of the event is BKT Monster Jam Freestyle. Each driver has 2 minutes to put together a spectacular performance. They will be judged both by fans in attendance and by a Monster Jam judging official. Our drivers will be judged based on creativity, momentum, the use of all obstacles on the track, and their ability to fill the entire clock. To qualify for a score, drivers must complete the first 30 seconds of their run. These superstars will have their endurance pushed to its limit as they defy gravity in these 12,000-pound steel titans. With the overall event championship on the line, expect to see big air, backflips, technical moves, dynamic saves, and those incredible wow moments that have made Monster Jam a worldwide phenomenon. This is BKT Freestyle. Here comes Corey Rummel in rage. I love the sound of this truck, one of the loudest trucks here. Love hearing it rev up, and here goes Mr. Extreme Air. Corey Rummel with a bicycle save there.
Great job. It's crazy to think these are some of the heaviest trucks out there on the circuit today. They weigh so much more, but they're so strong. And Jim and Corey both build them themselves.
Now he drove Megalodon in Stadium Championship Series Green in 2020. Now firmly comfortable back in his truck Rage, but he loved driving Megalodon as well. Had a lot of fun in that truck.
Uh-oh, looks like he's lining up for the backflip.
Monster Energy backflip ramp, the first attempt of the night. Corey Rummel skies it sideways, and he will land the backflip.
Absolutely perfect. Now let her eat.
Big air to follow the backflip, and he's gonna swing it around.
Yeah! Come on! He is just giving it to that truck.
Time will run out for Corey Rummel, but a dynamite run.
He was all over the place, using up every inch of this track, throwing in a backflip there, going nice and slow to it, getting the RPMs up at the last minute, and flipping that truck around perfectly.
And here comes Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger. This is a redemption run for her. She needs something. And Leslie, you got some news on Kristen Anderson and her frustrating night so far.
Yeah, guys, she said that she's trying to make small adjustments each round to her freestyle driving techniques. However, that's more difficult than it seems, because once you get strapped in and the adrenaline is pumping, your muscle memory kicks in, and she reverts back to those hundreds of rounds of competition in arenas. So she said she's really concentrating on making those changes here to last and make her run go bigger with each hit.
She came out in round 5 and didn't complete 30 seconds of her run. She rolled. She also rolled in the Great Clip Skills Challenge that round as well. So she needs something solid here. A lot of pressure on her driving Gravedigger, but she's an Anderson. She can live up to that, and she's brilliant on the track.
She is. She's definitely got what it takes to drive this truck. She just can't put it all together yet. It looks like she's got a good run started here. You can tell she's holding back just a little bit. That rollover early in round 5 is definitely on her mind.
Gets up on the front 2 tires after the kickback,
no!
and here she goes again. She's got a save right there, Cole.
Yes!
That's what we were looking for from Kristen Anderson.
The truck is hurt, though. The truck has got a bent 4-link bar left front. And they're going to let her run. Nope, they shut her off now. Yeah, that left front 4-link bar is folded up.
Let's get you right into the cap to listen to the radio chatter.
Holy moly, that was violent.
Yeah, looked like it. Are you okay, though?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
It's tacky out there. You can see the truck's hiking up pretty easy. She had good momentum. She could pick it up in that department just a little bit. Get that wide open. People want to hear that Gravedigger.
Here comes Zombies Bari Musauer.
Getting those zombie arms going. The fans love the zombie arms.
Slap wheelie for Bari Musauer. That's a great move.
Love it.
Great story for Bari is how he got discovered in a Monster Jam. He got discovered at Digger's Dungeon driving RC trucks. How crazy is that? You show up to drive your RC trucks, and now you're in the seat of a monster truck.
The real thing. And it shows. He goes out there with those RC trucks and does crazy things, and he'll bring it over to the Monster Jam side. We'll see it, and it actually worked. I like the throttle control. I can really feel and hear this truck right now.
You got a slap wheelie and some major air on that jump. The slap wheelie, a couple big jumps, and then that amazing jump right there is what we've seen so far. Going again off the ramp onto the pod, back down.
Man, Bari was struggling with shock setup the first few rounds. It definitely looks like they have it dialed in now. As the truck lands, it soaks it right up. Watch the front end right here. Oh, perfect though, right into the slap wheelie. Definitely had a little bounce though. See See right here.
Right side race
soaks
ramp
it
now
up.
to the deep part of the track for Barry Musauer.
Man, he is really sending that zombie truck. He's lost an arm. Like it. Hitting it a little bit different. Not a straight-on hit like usual.
He is going to go now over in front of the Monster Energy backflip ramp. Here goes Barry Musauer. He gets it up.
Nice!
Guys, it lands it.
Tie
and
bar.
the back left wheel just goes bonkers on that landing.
The fans could feel this truck out there. He had good momentum, good speed, good air. Fantastic run, topped it off with a backflip.
And the score is in. The crowd erupts as we see the backflip. 9.393 is the score for Zombie. Barry Musauer is your new leader in BKT Freestyle. Here comes five-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson in Megalodon.
Yeah.
And a big jump to kick it off. Slap wheelie on the backside ramp for Adam Anderson.
Megalodon is here.
The son of legendary Gravedigger creator and driver Dennis Anderson.
There we go. There's the Adam I was missing in round 5. I can just feel his rhythm, his throttle rhythm's back there. Anderson, whoop, 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 whoop.
Adam has a legitimate shot at the event championship. Came in 3 points behind Bryce Kenny, tied with his brother Ryan.
Perfect execution there, right on the downside.
Lock the brakes on the jump. Love seeing that in midair. Megalodon on a tear right now. Here comes Adam Anderson again.
Ooh, filling it out. I like that. Not just driving around, he's hitting whatever's in front of him.
Adam Anderson, one of the best in the business at seeing the entire track in front of him and using the entire track to the best of his ability. Here he comes on the ramp, the throttle hit.
Step on, step off. More of a step on, bounce off, but
He'll take it.
nice move. Another big air here, yeah!
Off the steep side of the
Woo!
step
He felt
up.
that one.
Almost had to pull off a great save, gets it squared away, and he is back, but time is ticking away.
Ran out of time on that one.
Here's the original Super Glue glued to the action replay, the slap wheelie.
Nice combo. Adam went to the next hit no matter where it was. He didn't drive around one single thing in front of him. Awesome job by Adam Anderson.
Not everybody in the field going to make it into the top 5. Let's take a look at some of our lower performing trucks. Cole Menard had all kinds of problems in the back. They tried to get him out. He did come out, but was not able to get a great score. He finished in last, and then Jamie Garner in overboard, uncharacteristically this season with an underwhelming score. Jim Kohler in Avenger, no exciting moves from Mr. Excitement. And then Lindsay Reed and Scooby-Doo, she filled the clock, but the Houston fans did not score her for that. And finally, Bryce Kenny, so disappointed for him. No wow moments after leading the overall event leaderboard for the first 2 competitions. He would finish in 8th in BKT Freestyle. With 8 competitors finished for the night, here is how our top 5 are currently situated here in BKT Freestyle. Zombies Barry Musauer with the lead, Corey Rummel and Rage in 2nd, Kristen Anderson in 3rd, and Gravedigger Adam Anderson 4th in Megalodon, and Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, rounding out your BKT Freestyle top 5. Jim Kohler is known across the globe as Mr. Excitement for his big personality and his exciting saves. Earlier this season, in round 2, he landed one for the ages.
So get on the edge of your seat and get ready for Mr. Excitement. This is the Monster Energy Action of the Week.
Jim Kohler with this incredible save here. How does a driver do that?
Man, it started out as a mistake. Jim Kohler took full advantage of it, didn't quit on it, got it around on that front tire where it could get some grip and got that truck right back on all 4 tires. Great job.
And that's why Jim Kohler is your Monster Energy Action of the Week. We're just moments away from crowning our overall event champion in round 6. The freestyle finale is coming up. Stay tuned to see who's taking home the hardware. Welcome back to the exciting conclusion of round 6 in Houston with just a few trucks left to compete. Here's the current BKT overall event leaderboard through 2 competitions. Bryce Kenny with 23 points, Ryan and Adam Anderson both with 20, Todd LeDuc with 18, and Corey Rummel and Tom Mentz tied with 14 apiece. And right now, it's the professor of Monster Jam University, Tom Meents, in Max D Fire. Here he goes, right lane race ramp. Gets it all the way out past the 50-yard line. Great start here to the run.
Start on the outside, working his way in.
Got all that momentum on our side of the track, drove it all the way around. Bigger jump on the far side too.
Nice, all the way clear in the pod.
Left side jammer, some nice air coming off of that as well. We haven't seen a whole lot of air off of that. He got great control.
I like him, he actually hit it at a crooked angle, so it set him up to go into a combo into the second pod.
And now he is hitting the gas and coming around to the Monster Energy backflip ramp. Lines it up, gets the air, and corkscrewed. Oh, man! Almost a corkscrew off the backflip ramp, lands on the hood.
That is a terrible way to land. We don't have any suspension on the top of the truck.
.251 the score for Tom Meents, currently putting him in second place. Here comes two-time World Finals champion Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid. The door is open for Ryan Anderson to win another event championship with a solid run here.
He's got great momentum. He's using up every inch of this track, swinging it wide, going for something big here.
And Cody, if you take a look over at the Monster Energy backflip ramp, Max D Fire has laid out that side of the ramp, so that is off the table now.
Not an option at all. Look at it, big air right there. High speed, big air. Step on, step off, get a little wild.
Got the back two tires with a nice slide down the pod.
Here he goes, uh-oh, up on the sidewall. Oh, he's just like, hey, I'm gonna hang out. Let's just play this game.
Bicycle gets a save onto the jammer. This is Ryan Anderson at his finest. Incredible air again for Bakugan. Dragonoid gets just enough on the landing to keep it upright.
He's definitely getting this Bakugan figured out. Now he's just gonna bicycle again.
Now he's just showing off.
Yep. He's just playing with us. Uh-oh, what's he thinking? He's lined up way outside over there. Nice. He's really liking that step up. He keeps playing on that same pod.
Now here he goes back around again. Spinning. It catches the back tire on the 8-pack. And look at that. What is that? And he's going to save this thing. Unbelievable.
What a save. Look at him. Thumbs up to the crowd.
That was like a sidewinder snake on the track, just moving at an incredible rate.
Out there doing work. Never a dull moment throughout his whole run.
9.069. That puts Ryan Anderson in 4th place.
Unbelievable.
4th place for that run.
He didn't have a backflip, but he had everything else.
Our final competitor of the competition, two-time World Finals freestyle and racing champion, Tyler Dugan, Monster Energy.
Wham! Coming out with a bang. Kind of designed his own little track here. I see what he's got going on. He's staying wide, spinning around stuff, coming back, getting back to the pod as fast as he can.
And here comes Todd LeDuc now off the pod.
Nice.
Great landing for Monster Energy.
So it's interesting. In the earlier round, Todd did not hit the 8-pack because Bari hit it and he didn't like. Oh, he's got a save here. Nice work. Bari hit it and he didn't like the 8-pack. But he hit the Monster Energy backflip on the same side that Tom's truck is currently rolled over in. So would he actually move to the other side, which he said he didn't like?
Here he comes now off of that Deep side, the backside race ramp, or step-up ramp if you call it, for Todd LeDuc. He has had a great freestyle season so far, inconsistent in racing.
Oh.
But 2 freestyle wins, has the second highest average on the series.
This dirt is very deceiving, Scott. It seems like sometimes they go in a corner and they slide, and sometimes they go, oh!
Look at that, look at him, he's gonna try to save that. That would have been a backflip on the pod.
That was so close!
Take a look now at the original Super Glue to the action replay from Monster Energy.
Todd was on it. He was out there on a mission, going around the track and hit anything he's seen. Big air right there, going across the step up, getting up on 2 wheels. Nice save.
With a freestyle win, 12 points going to Zombies Bari Musauer as we take a final look at the BKT Freestyle Top 5. So Zombie finishes in first, Max D Fire in second. In third place, Corey Rummel in Rage. In fourth, Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid. And in fifth place, Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger. How do you think the Houston fans scored the competition, Colt?
I think it was a great score. It was a little bit crazy there in the middle, but at the end, I think they did a great job.
A big freestyle win for Bari Musauer and Zombie Nation. Let's head downstairs to Leslie.
Well, Bari, I was really interested to see how things were going to pan out for you when you lined up for that backflip ramp, because that's not the ramp that you're used to hitting. So how much different was it?
It was a little different. You have to carry a little steady momentum to the backflip ramp down there on the end, and then you have to really time your throttle rim just right to be able to not over-rotate. And I almost over-rotated, but thankfully I grabbed some brake at the very last moment and it held the truck right there. So, man, I couldn't ask for a better night in freestyle than tonight here in Houston.
With the freestyle points added in, we can take a look at our final BKT overall event leaderboard. And Colt, the dust has settled in Houston, and it's Ryan Anderson once again taking home the win. He had 29 points, Bryce Kenny with 28, Adam Anderson with 26, and then Bari Musauer, Tom Mentz, and Todd LeDuc each had 25, the tiebreaker freestyle score, and that is your final BKT Top 5. Ryan Anderson does it again, winning his 3rd consecutive event championship. He's standing by right now with our own Leslie Mears.
Ryan, it was your freestyle score that really pushed you to the top here to take this overall event victory. How did you decide to incorporate so many 2-wheel skills elements in your freestyle?
I didn't plan that at all, and that's one of the beauties of Monster Jam Freestyle is there really is no plan. The more I try to plan it, the worse I do. But once things start happening, I don't claim to be good at anything except for taking advantage of a good opportunity. So when that Monster Jam truck wants to hike up, I'm all over it. I'm not going to save it right away. I want to let it get up good and far to where it looks like my run is over and bring it back on all fours. And I know every single fan in the stands is on their feet freaking out over what I just did. And it just so happened it worked out a bunch during my freestyle run.
Next round, he will get another shot as we head south of the Sunshine State, where Monster Jam will return to Orlando for 3 exciting rounds at Camping World Stadium. For Colt Stevens and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan, saying one more time, good night from Houston, Texas.